We starting? Yeah, okay. Hey guys, Sebastian from Mannanova. We are working with Hanna instruments number 84532, fruit juice titratable acidity. We're going to go through calibration procedure today. We're going to go show you how to do that. I'm not 100% sure how to do it, but we'll walk through it together. So, I actually just did a little titration right here. It's not bad, 1.67%. Ca is for citric acid. So let's go into calibration. What we're going to do is, so when you're working with this instrument here, so we have our pH electrode, we have our temperature thermocouple, and here's the little tube that pumps out our solution for the titration. Here's our little pump, and then here's today we're using high range titrant. That's bottle like the where's the manual? High range says it's for between 1 and 10% total acidity of citric acid, but you know, that's just a suggestion. I'll show you how to play around with that after. Okay, so let's calibrate this. So I press the calibrate button, as you can see. Now it says, what do you want to calibrate today? Do you want to calibrate the electrode or the pump? Excellent question, machine. We're going to do both. So let's start with the electrode. So what are we doing when we're calibrating the electrode? pH meter works pretty simply. There's a solution in there, and what this does is it gives you a reading in millivolts. And by using three solutions, we have pH 7, which is neutral, pH 4, and then we have pH 8.20. 8.20 is important for this machine because that's pretty much the titration point that we're looking at. So I'd say it's actually the most important one. See, 8.20. There you go. Okay, so basically we just follow the instructions. So we're going to calibrate the electrode, but what do we do here? Okay, and so what it says right here, it says calibration, and it says over here it says solution 8.20. Now you can use all three or just one, but I'm going to start with 8.20 right now. Now normally I would have a little cup, but you know, normally I would have a little cup that would, I'm just going to take the electrode out. You know, let's just do it the way we're supposed to. So I'm just going to put this right here, and I'm going to pour this out. Normally I'd be using, there you go, and let's just put 8.20 like it says. So 8.20, 8.20. I'm just going to put it in here and let it. There we go. It's going to take a minute. It's going to recognize. And then there's a little button here that's going to show up. It's going to say confirm. So it usually takes a couple of seconds. Now what it's doing is it's stabilizing itself. It's stabilizing itself until the actual millivolt reading stays the same. And then after it'll say confirm. There you go. You see it says confirm right there. That says 8.11, but here it says 8.20. Oh no, it'll figure it out. So confirm. Boom. Okay, now as you can see right here, it says 8.20, so it understood where it's at. And it tells you to go in 7.01. So let's start by, I'm actually going to put this in right here. I'm going to put this back in here. It's kind of a no-no, but you know. I'm going to rinse this off, and I'm going to put it 7.01. I'll rinse, give it 2 rinses. These buffers are pretty strong. I'll give my little electrode a rinse as well. You gotta be careful with these electrodes. Don't use glass containers because you'll just end up tapping your electrode against it and breaking it. Here we go, and then so now we're in pH 7.01, and it's doing its thing. See, there's this little thing right here. It says the weight. Turns to tell you it's working. Okay, and then we have confirmed, so that was pretty quick. When your electrode's in shape, it actually goes a lot quicker. If you have a dirty electrode, it can take a really long time. Cool. Okay, so let's just put that in there for a second. I'm going to put this back in here, and then it says right here 4.01, so we're going to use 4.01 now. So let's pour that back in here. Normally I might have little cups that are labeled and I'm not putting the solution back into the original container, but you know, we're doing our best here. Okay, pH 4. So these little things are pretty smart. They know when they're not actually in solution pH 4, so you can like kind of leave it to the side and it won't really, it'll go, okay, I'm in pH 4 now, I can start actually calibrating. There we go. So it'll just take a second. Yeah, well, we don't need that right now. It's not actually titrated. Okay, there we go, confirmed. So now we've calibrated the electrode, so it means that your pH readings are good. Now we're going to calibrate the pump, and actually it just gives you the directions really. So start calibrating the pump. So as you can see here, first thing it does is starts filling this thing up, and then it tells you what to do. Prepare the standard, add the stir bar to beaker, attach the electrode, insert, blah, blah, blah. Now, make sure to not put in the solution here before it says to do that, because this one gives a little squirt right as he's preparing here. And if you have already put your solution in there, it's going to have to restart, which I've done maybe 4 times already, so I've learned my lesson. Now, I should be using distilled water for this, but since we're doing a calibration, when you're doing a calibration, if you do the same thing every time, then it's still fine. Don't quote me on that. Okay, so I put about 50 milliliters of water in here, and in this pump calibration right here, it says when you're using the standard for low range, you use 5 milliliters of your standard right here. This is your standard. And for high range, you use 10 milliliter, and we're using high range titrant right now, and so we will use 10 milliliters of this stuff. Now I go by weight, which is probably not the best, but I find it's more precise. I actually find it's a lot more precise than using with my little scale. Oh, sorry. I go by weight. I find it's a lot more precise. Even if the density of this product is not exactly 1, it might be 1.01, 1.02. I find it's actually more precise than using a pipette or something like that for these volumes. So I'm just going to add some of this stuff until I get to 10 exactly. Now you're doing calibration right now, so it's important to be as precise as possible. What's fun about when you're doing calibration is you don't even need to do it right. As long as you do it exactly the same every time, then all your results are gonna hold together. So that's nice. So just if you're wrong, if you're not exactly sure how to do it, just do what you want to do. Just make sure it's exactly the same every time. I'm not sure if that's good advice or bad advice, but it's free advice, so do what you want with it. I'd say it's good advice. So we're at 2.03. That's good. I'd say it's 3 over 1,000. It's pretty precise. We put the little stir bar in there. Boom. Put that in there, and then lock that in, and then put this little guy here. I haven't quite figured out how to get this stable yet. I'm sure it's in the manual somewhere. I'm sure there's like a little gasket or elastic, but anyway, I'm just squeezing it in there. So you can see it's a little bit, you want it to kind of be freestanding so the little drops will fall straight into it. And then so you press continue, and then it starts turning. Oh, that sound is the sound of the stir bar hurting my electrode, which is not good. So I've lifted up my, and it's spinning, and if you can see here, it's running the calibration. Boom. So it's doing its thing now, and this takes a couple minutes. So this little pump thingy is going to move around, and then you'll see a little bit of drops coming out of there. And what you can see is the pH is going to go up. So it's basically just doing a titration of a solution that it knows. You can see I'm in calibrate HR, so that's high range. That's why I use 10 milliliters of this stuff. So, it's smart. The manual and the robot inside of here, they talk to each other, so they know they know that I put 10 milliliters of solution. And so now if you can see right here, it's adding a little bit of this titration solution. And as it's doing that, the pH is going up over here. The pH is going up over here. There we go. And then it's just going to keep doing that until it reaches probably 8.20, which is the point of equivalence that we're working out on this piece of equipment. And that's pretty much it. And after that, you're just going to go. It's going to say calibration completed, and you'll be able to just go ahead with an actual solution that you want to test. That's it. Questions? No?